Kursk. More fun facts and not so much. Russia retaliates for Kursk murdering civilians in Ukraine, and F-16. Russian talks about it, and that is all they can do. These are the topics for today in more detail by UATV English and me, Henrikin, bringing the hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine, as usual. Strange things continue to happen in the Kursk region of Russia this way or another. No one knows actually anything for sure, but worldwide mass media is trying to find at least some info on who is doing what and why. Some military experts understand what is up, but not all of them. We do not grasp it in full to be true, but we have Russian comrade Gerasimov to explain it to the world very soon. In fact, he already did that. As per Comrade Gerasimov, 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers breached the border of Russian Empire from Ukraine's side. As of now, 965 of that 1,000 have been killed or wounded. 35 soldiers remained out there somewhere, and according to Russian mass media, the Russian special forces, I quote, changed the situation towards a balance. Whatever that means. Well, maybe that means that all Russian special forces clashed in a combat with 35 Ukrainian fighters and barely changed the situation towards a balance. Or should I just quote the former Deputy Minister of Information Policy of Ukraine, Dmytro Zolotukhin? Please do not take this as an official position of our channel. This is Zolotukhin's personal position solely, though very lucrative one. Sit for yourself. Ukraine is committed to the strategy of establishing comprehensive peace. For the fastest possible peaceful resolution of the conflict through diplomatic means, the Kremlin regime should immediately withdraw Russian troops from the territory of Bryansk, Belgorod, Kursk and Voronezh regions within the administrative borders of these territorial units. Referendums will be held on this territory in regard to this residents' desire to remain a part of the Russian Federation or to declare independence from the Kremlin. In addition, Russia should withdraw from the SSTO and the SCO and declare a non-aligned status, including a refusal to join any military political blocs in the future. As soon as the Kremlin makes an official statement on such a withdrawal of Russian troops and announces the policy of non-aligned status, Ukraine will immediately be ready to cease the fire and start negotiations. If the above conditions are satisfied, the safe withdrawal of Russian troops is guaranteed. Ukraine, of course, hopes that decisions on the withdrawal of troops in non-aligned status and on the start of dialogue with the Ukraine on which the future existence of Russia depends will be made in the Kremlin independently, based on the established realities and guided by the true national interests of the multinational people of the Russian Federation, and not at the behest of Beijing or Pyongyang, although there are, of course, great doubts about that. This morning, Russian missile hit the shopping center in Kostyantynivka. As of 4 p.m., 45 people injured, 10 died.
Russian terrorists hit an ordinary supermarket and the post office. There are people under the rubble. A rescue operation is underway, and everything will be done to save them. Russia will be held accountable for this terror, and we will do our best to ensure that the world continues to stand with Ukraine in supporting our defense and saving the lives of our people. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on social network X.
As reported by the State Emergency Service, the fire area covered more than 1,000 square meters. Residential block shops, more than a dozen cars were also damaged. The Russian mass media already tells the usual stories about the military equipment that was stored there. Well, usual lies. Ask yourself if Ukrainian military commanders are that same stupid as the Russian ones to keep equipment in one place. The first rule of war is dispersion of army depots and stocks. And the first rule of war for Soviets back then and for Russia today is to murder civilians. And here they did that again. They hit the shopping center in Kremenchuk, now they hit Kostyantynivka. And they will keep on doing that while they can. The Russian way is to hit anywhere and call this place NATO base. Exactly as it was the largest children's hospital of Ukraine, Okhmadit, and with the cathedral in Odessa, and with the forest near Kiev. Now the Russians shelled a shopping center, yet another act of terror by Russians. I wonder, could that be the retaliation for their inability to defend their own land in Kursk? By the way, with this whole story with the Kursk region, the Russian mass media completely forgot that the F-16s are in Ukraine. Even at the beginning of this week, while Russian propaganda tried to explain why these planes would not affect anything in Ukraine, Douglas Barry, an expert on air power at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, in an interview with The Economist, thinks the main immediate value Ukrainian F-16s is a boost to morale, or shall we say to Russian dismorale, despite the fact the initial numbers are small and the Ukrainians will use them cautiously to avoid losses that will give Russia a propaganda victory. But they should start to make an incremental difference, the expert says. According to reports, America is equipping the F-16s with advanced air-to-air missiles such as the long-range version of the AIM-120 and the AIM-9X, the newest version of the Sidewinder, as well as high-speed and anti-radiation missiles. They will be able to carry up to 4 GBU-39 glide bombs which, while smaller than their Russian equivalents, are far more accurate and long-ranged. They can also carry cluster munitions to be used against troops in armored formations. Upgraded radars are reportedly on the way. The F-16s could lessen the impunity with which Russian Su-34s have been pummeling Ukrainians' front lines. The Russians have been launching more than 100 crude but effective glide bombs every day without having to leave Russian airspace even. As experts say, the priority will be to force Russian pilots to stay further back or risk being shot down. The AIM-120D is an all-weather missile with its own active radar that is thought to have a range of up to 180 kilometers, though when the target takes evasive action, the missile must twist and turn, reducing, of course, its range. The F-16s can use cheaper heat-seeking AIM-9X missile to take down the cruise missiles that have been crippling Ukraine's civilians' infrastructure. Their 20mm 6-barrel Gatling gun should be quite effective against slow-moving Shahed drones. F-16s could also fire Harpoon anti-ship missiles against the remainder of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. But with numbers building up slowly, it may take some time before the F-16s can have actual much impact. A recent report by the Center of Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, another think tank, argues that Ukraine needs many more aircraft than have so far been promised. Of the 79 committed, at least 10 are two-seat trainers. Some of the others may be in such poor condition that to serve mainly as a source of spare parts. Ukraine may have enough for just 3 to 4 squadrons. The report argues that it needs 12 squadrons or more, with 18 planes per squadron to achieve local air superiority and support a ground offensive. It will take time, of course, to integrate the F-16s with Ukraine's air defense systems and to acquire operating experience. Still, the F-16's arrival marks the start of building a NATO-standard air force, no less. It plugs Ukraine into, and very intimately, if you ask me, the F-16's well-developed supply chain. NATO weapon systems such as Storm Shadow, Scalp missile will be far more effective when carried by planes that were designed for, rather than lashed onto elderly MiGs and Sukhois. Ukraine's F-16s also come equipped with Link 16, a NATO tactical data link that allows secure communications and improved situational awareness. Too few and too late though they may be, the F-16's importance should not be underestimated. Well, that was it for tonight. It was me, Henry Keane, and our beautiful team at UATV English, hopefully to bring some hard truth in some easy terms for you out there. Please like, please share, and please comment. Your voice really matters, as it in turn helps Ukrainian voice to be heard worldwide. More to come already on this Sunday, so stay safe and tuned for more. Thank you and goodbye.